Tomorrow, September 21st, half of America is going to attempt to martyr Charlie Kirk, which should be a day of remembrance um, for everybody to come together and mourn him. There's the Christian white nationalists who are very clearly going to martyr him. And then from that martyrdom, create a movement that takes Christian white nationalists to the next level. Fox News just had Catholic Cardinal Timothy Dolan on. He compared Charlie Kirk to St. Paul. He called him a missionary, an evangelist, and a hero. He knew what Jesus meant when Jesus said, "The truth will set you free." So, what I'm hearing is that the truth that will set us free is that we are to demonize black people. We are to kick out the immigrants. We are to demonize our LGBTQ. We are to demonize transgender people. We are to relegate women to just being a body to give birth, even if you are raped at 10 years old. Is that the truth, Cardinal? Something tells me that the Pope wouldn't agree with this cardinal going on Fox News and saying this. There was another far right pastor in Tennessee. He calls himself a white Christian nationalist, Andrew Isker, and he preached that blood cries from the ground for justice over the murder of Charlie Kirk. At the same time, he called for the removal of a sign that his neighbor put up on the lawn that says, "Hate has no home here." He called for the removal of that sign because it said it incited violence, and then he switched into the victim mode. Everybody on the left wants me dead. So, what I wanted to do was to point out three different black voices in the ministry and what they had to say. Okay? Reverend Howard John Wesley, we've been seeing his clips going around, warned about casting Charlie Kirk as a martyr. He said, "I'm overwhelmed to see the nation's flag half-staffed for a man who was a proud racist and spent his life spewing division. I can be sorry about your death and not celebrate your death. There's nowhere in the Bible where we are told to honor evil." And he said, "It's tiring being black in America." He said something important when he said sowing division. You'll hear people on the right, including this Catholic cardinal, saying that he was bringing people together under God's name. If he wasn't sowing division, why are we the most divided we ever have been? Just a simple question. Senior pastor Dr. Genia Stewart addressed her Memphis church, saying, "I cannot act like violence is not real, particularly in a city that is black." She said that while Kirk did not personally advocate for violence, he was known for rhetoric that is so filled with venom and hatred that it poisons our common life. Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes III, a Dallas Baptist pastor, rebuked those who compared Kirk's murder to Martin Luther King's assassination. A white Christian nationalist gets killed, not assassinated. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Medgar Evers was assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated. Don't compare Kirk to Martin. I'm anti-political violence. Kirk should be alive. I don't agree with anything Kirk said. What he said was dangerous. It was racist. It was rooted in white supremacy. So, everybody's going to do something different tomorrow who aren't in the Charlie Kirk fan club. Some of you guys talked about you're going to be watching your sports games and carrying on with life. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be finding as many pastors as I can, clips online, and I'm going to be reposting it on multiple forums. I'm going to try to um, find the videos, so many videos of Charlie Kirk doing harm in his rhetoric, and I'm going to be reposting those. I'll probably just take like an hour or so to do this, but while people are mourning, and I respect that, and I'm so sorry this happened, martyring him, um, calling his form of religion something that Jesus really taught, me as a Christian, I need to counter that. I need to counter that. Jesus would condemn Charlie Kirk's murder. Jesus would condemn a whole lot of things that came out of Charlie Kirk's mouth. So